Hello and welcome to all on second chapter of history of class 10th. This is the part second of nationalism in India. First of all, we will see the main contents. In this lesson we will see the non-cooperation movement, the main causes of non-cooperation movement, then methods and disagreements, some important events which took place during the non-cooperation movement, then the moment when it spread in the towns, then rebellion in the countryside, revolts by tribals, and lastly Swaraj in the plantations. We will discuss one by one. So let's start from the non-cooperation movement. This movement started in the year 1921. Now the various social groups participated in this movement, and each social group had their own aspirations, but all fought together for the Swaraj, but the term meant differently from group to group. The main causes of this movement are Khilafat issue. After the Revolt Satyagraha, Mahatma Gandhi felt to launch a more broad-based movement, so he took up the Khilafat issue. In this regard, the First World War had ended with the defeat of Ottoman Turkey. There were rumors that a harsh treaty would be imposed on the Khilafat. So a Khilafat committee was formed in March 1919 to defend the Khilafat's temporal powers. Then Revolt Act, the second main cause, which means that the dissatisfaction from the Revolt Act and the failure of the Revolt Satyagraha. Then we have the Jallianwala Bagh, which we have discussed in the earlier videos. The atrocities, killing of hundreds of the innocent people of the British at Jallianwala Bagh, had made the Indian masses resentful towards the British rule. Then the methods and the disagreements. As far as the methods is concerned, first of all, surrendered government titles, then boycott civil services, army, police, courts and legislative councils, schools and foreign goods were adopted. And if British government used repression, a full civil disobedience campaign would be launched. These methods have been initiated during the non-cooperation movement. Okay. Then as far as the disagreements are concerned, few Congress members were not in support of the idea of boycotting the council elections, as they wanted to bring about changes in the system by being in the power. And C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru formed the Swaraj party within the Congress to argue for a return to council politics. And some leaders feared the movement to turn violent. Then some important events which took place during the non-cooperation movement were Khilafat committee was formed with leaders such as Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali in March 1919 in Bombay. Then Mahatma Gandhi in Calcutta session of the Congress convinced the leaders of the need to start a non-cooperation movement in support of Swaraj in September 1919. The non-cooperation movement adopted by the Congress in December 1920 at the Congress session at Nagpur. Then the movement spread in the towns, and the steps had been taken, such as the students left government controlled schools and colleges, headmasters and teachers resigned. Lawyers gave up their legal practices, and the council elections were boycotted in most provinces except Madras. Foreign goods were boycotted, liquor shops picketed, and foreign clothes burnt in huge bonfires. Now, the effect: the import of foreign cloths halved its value, dropping from rupees 102 crore to 57 crore. And similarly, merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods and foreign finance foreign trade. Then the production of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up, and the obstructions faced, such as khadi cloth, was more expensive than mass produced mill cloths, and poor people could not afford to buy it. And Indian educational institutions slow in come to income were slow to come in place by the boycotted British ones. Then the rebellion in the countryside. The peasants had to do beggar and work without pay in the forms of oppressive landlords. The peasant movement demanded reduction of revenue, abolition of beggar, and social boycott of oppressive landlords. In this regard, in Awadh, the houses of talukdars and the merchants were attacked, bazaars were looted, and grain hoards were taken over in many places. And local leaders told the peasants that Gandhiji had declared that no taxes were to be paid and land to be distributed among poor. And Nai and Dobi bands were organized by the panchayats for depriving landlords of the services of even barbers and washermen. The Awadh Kisan Sabha was set up, headed by Jawaharlal Nehru, Baba Ram Chandra, and few others in October. Okay, then coming to the revolt by tribals. The government had closed large forest areas, preventing people from entering the forest to graze their cattle or to collect fuel, wood, and fruits. Aluri Sitaraman Raju led the guerrilla warfare in the Godam hills of Andhra Pradesh. Then the rebels attacked police stations, attempted to kill British officials, and carried on guerrilla warfare for achieving Swaraj. Then Swaraj in the plantations. Under the Inland Immigration Act of 1859, the plantation workers were not allowed to leave the tea gardens without permission. And in this regard, thousands of workers defied the authorities. They left the plantations and headed home, because they believed that Gandhiji was coming and everyone would be given land in their own villages. However, on February 1922, Mahatma Gandhi decided to withdraw the non-cooperation movement because of its violent face in many places. Okay, so this was all about in this lesson, and in the next lesson we will see the Simon Commission, then the civil disobedience movement, and Salt March, and other important main concepts which are left in the chapter 2nd. So thank you, best of luck.